On. And we're now on. Let's see here. Make sure I got my scorekeeper running. Okay, cool. All right. Are you guys ready for a countdown?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
David?
Yes, I am.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to Game That Tune.
I can't do this, David. You won the show. It's your show now. Take over.
Oh, yeah. Welcome, everybody, to Game That Tune. I am your host, David Fleming. With me, as always, we got Jesse Moore. Jesse, say hey.
Hey.
And we got John Regan. John, say hey.
Hey.
And we got ya boy, John Harrington. John, say hey.
Hey.
And if you're just joining us here on Game That Tune, things might seem perfectly normal. If you're a regular watcher and listener of Game That Tune, things might seem a little different. Usually, John Harrington is leading the charge here. John, are you all right? I'm a little concerned for you.
Yeah, man, I'm just, a little underwhelmed after, the reality of August Absurdity set in for me, having my shot and missing it yet again, and then you cashing in for another win. I just kind of got the wind knocked out of my sails and ran off on vacation for a week, and that didn't do me any good. So I'm just kind of, feeling a little low energy tonight. So I figure you got all the mojo back. So it's your show for a while, David.
Well, if you insist, I will accept the heavy burden of hosting the show. Although I do hope that you get your mojo back, and I'm slightly curious where you went on vacation.
Ironically, I went to Music City, USA, Nashville, Tennessee. Very, very little video game music in that town, as it turns out. It was kind of refreshing. But,
a lot of music, but sadly no video game music.
A lot of goddamn white women. But not a lot of video game music.
No.
Episode title.
No, not in Tennessee.
No
Surely
way.
you jest.
High concentration of white women in that fucking city. Anyway, it's just I'm back. I'm under the weather, so thanks for hosting, David. I hope you pick some great games tonight.
Yeah, I picked a lot of great games, by which I mean I didn't choose any games because this is a very special episode of Game That Tune. After the August Absurdity tournament, we all just decided it's like, you know what? We need to take a break from choosing games. So this is an all fan request episode. That's right. All our fans out there, they have chosen the games. And if you're wondering who is it who chose those fan requests, well, it wasn't me because I am the king. So
that wasn't me because I was on vacation all week. So
I passed that off to John Regan. John was the one who curated those excellent fan requests. If you are first joining us here on Game That Tune, what we normally do here is everybody brings a game. We play 3 songs from the game, talk a little trivia, see who can guess the game. Whoever can guess the most games gets to play a bonus song and choose the theme for the next episode. So after our August Absurdity tournament, we're kind of doing a clean slate with our all fan request spectacular. And I think we might need to just get right into game 1, unless Jesse, you have a point to bring up?
I think we have a voicemail. Don't we, Johnny?
We did get a voicemail.
Then we should play that voicemail.
Hello, GTT. This is George Lucas. And I gotta make a prediction tonight while I'm wearing my flannel shirt. And, before I stick my dick in this microwave, which I gotta put the time in that, I'm gonna say that Jesse is gonna be the winner for tonight's show. So, do your thing, and I'm about to stick my dick in the microwave.
I feel like that.
Now it's over.
I feel like that probably should have been played before our last episode, not this one.
I'm so glad that George Lucas called left a voicemail. But yeah, if you're a patron, you get a phone number where you can call and leave really stupid fucking voicemail. So consider joining our Patreon.
Which you can find at patreon.com/GameThatTune. I mean, George Lucas is obviously a patron, so you want to be in the same realm as George Lucas, right?
No.
Yeah, he made Red Tails.
I really don't want to be in that realm.
Don't you want to be in the same realm as the creator of THX 1138?
No. I said
And
no.
Maniac Mansion.
You're not going to sell me on this idea, David.
Then I think maybe we just need to get right into game one.
All right.
Game 1.
Alright guys, so this is our fan request for the evening. This game's initial success prompted a release for the Game Boy Color. However, many changes were made to the story, music, and other aspects of the game, upsetting fans of the original. Whoops.
I'm sorry, can you give that trivia one more time?
Yeah, this game's initial success prompted a release for the Game Boy Color. Many changes were made to the story, music, and other aspects of the game, upsetting fans of the original. All right, let's see some answers. All right. John says Shin Megami Tensei, which is probably incorrect. David says I can't read it. Something Gear Ghost Babble.
Something Gear.
I can't read the top. It's too dark.
Gear.
Something.
Metal Gear
Gear?
Ghost Babble.
Metal Gear Ghost Battle. And then Jesse has the correct answer with Crystallis. This is a fan request from XX Chrono XX in our Discord, and this is Crystallis for the original NES, developed by SNK and released in 1990.
And they always told me I'd never find the Crystallis.
I feel like maybe they were discussing something else.
Oh, I found that all the time.
Weird accents. Yeah. I always heard this game called Crystallis. I don't know if
I think
that's
that one's the alcoholic version.
right.
I always thought
Crystal.
that this game was about that thing that happens when butterflies change from caterpillars.
Oh, that's it.
So
Right.
this,
I mean, it's a butterfly game, right?
no, this is an action RPG game similar to The Legend of Zelda, but with a little bit more RPG elements to it because you can do things like level up. It's a pretty interesting game. It takes place in the year whatever 1997 plus 100 is 2097. So apparently the world was destroyed in 1997, and you were frozen in a cryogenic state. And during that time, the world kind of devolved into a medieval state as people gave up on science.
What?
Yeah, and they've embraced magic, given up on science, technology, and they're embracing magic.
That seems like the opposite of what should happen. Like if the world was destroyed in nuclear war, everybody'd be like, "Damn, science is pretty powerful."
Yeah, I think the idea
Probably
is
should
they
embrace
said,
that.
I think the idea is they said this is too powerful, and it feels like a metaphor for like how the state of the world is right now with people giving up on science. But anyways, so you wake up with no memory of what's going on, and you find out that basically you're there to save the world. A dark wizard has combined science and magic, and he is attempting to take over the world, and you are going to be guided by 4 mages, and you have to find 4 elemental swords, combine the 4 elemental swords, and you get the Crystallis sword and just win the game. So yeah, it looks very much like The Legend of Zelda, but more RPG elements. You have towns, you have leveling up, I was about to say collecting money, but The Legend of Zelda has money in it, doesn't it?
Zelda also has towns.
Oh, it does? Oh, it does it? I don't...
Zelda
it?
2 does. The original doesn't really have towns.
No, but by this time, Zelda had towns.
And yeah, so has anybody here played Crystallis, ever found it? At like a yard sale or anything?
I have not played it, but I have heard very good things of it. Like, it seems to be one of those kind of undiscovered gems of the NES.
Yeah, it did not do well commercially, but somehow it became kind of a cult classic, and then Nintendo took the mantle of porting it to the Game Boy Color in 2000. People were pretty upset about it because they changed a lot of the story. In the original, you just had these 4 mages, and in the new one, they made the 4 mages like related to each of the elements, so that each mage kind of represents a sword kind of thing. And I forget the other changes to the story because I honestly forget most of the story now. But apparently it was also much harder because you had nowhere near as much screen to work with, so you'd have enemies attack you from off screen, kind of like, Sonic 2 for the Game Gear was like balls hard, just because the screen was so small. And
it kind of reminds me of Super Mario Deluxe on the Game Boy Color. Like, it couldn't show the full screen that the NES had, so you had to like push the up button to scroll up to see like what was above you by a few pixels.
Yeah,
which became really annoying.
And that's Crystallis. The music's pretty good. It does get a little repetitive. I was watching some gameplay footage of it, and after about 10 minutes in, I turned it off because I kept hearing that first song that we played like every other minute, because that was like the main overworld running around theme. And so this guy's fighting monsters, playing the same 1-minute loop again and again and again and again and again, and that got a little obnoxious. But besides that, it does look like a pretty good game with a good amount of depth to it. You got your shops, you got your story, you got your 4 swords. I believe the original Legend of Zelda only had 3. So
Although this game came out for the it was part of the SNK 40th anniversary collection that just came out for Switch, and I believe it's coming out to PS4. And I remember like when that game was announced, a lot of people were like, "Oh, Fatal Fury, Metal Slug," but there was that weird contingent of like hardcore cult fans like, "Fuck yeah, Crystallis is on here."
Oh, Crystallis! Oh my god, I've been drinking all this Cristal in preparation. This joke's that joke's stupid. I'm sorry, guys. That wasn't very good.
As you should be.
It's just dawning on me. David, did you make John pick all the requests tonight? I just realized how bad this show's going to be. What?
Yeah, it was a kingly proclamation. I didn't.
This
wanna
is the
work.
level of humor we're going to be subjected to all night. Games selected by John Crystallis jokes.
Well, that's why I was wondering when you're like, "Yeah, I'm just not feeling it." It's like I don't know how we're gonna get through this without you, man.
I wasn't asked to pick any games. Why didn't anybody tell me that only Johnny was going to pick games? I would have insisted upon picking games if that were the case.
I mean,
I
it
could
was
pick
an all
video
fan
game music
request
while I'm on
episode.
vacation. I mean, good God.
Game.
John, would you
2.
like to add a bonus game to the episode?
No, it's too late. Much like the world of Crystallis, it's just too late. There's no magic that we can combine with science to save this episode, so we'll just we'll see how things go.
All right.
Game 2.
All right, guys, this is our fan request for the evening. This original game had very poor sales. In Japan, it only sold about 6,000 units. In North America, about 50,000. But the remastered version has saw more than 1 million players after the first month of its release. All right, guys, who's got some answers?
Hopefully you can read it.
All right, John says Equinox HD, which is incorrect. David, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time reading yours tonight. Beyond Good and Evil, no, use that. Fuck. Incorrect. And Jesse says Deadly Premonition, which is incorrect. This is Phantom Dust for the original Xbox. So, yes.
Cool.
Phantom Dust, the original Xbox, it was basically made to try to increase sales of the Xbox in Japan because they weren't doing so hot at the time.
It sold 6,000 copies in Japan, so clearly a success.
Yeah, I don't think this quite did what they were, hoping for. So it is a real-time action game with collectible trading card game elements to it. So you run around and collect power-ups that become abilities, and you have like usage points you have as you fight other guys, and try to take each other these things you collect. And you can complete missions to get more skills to use in your battles. It has I think it's up to 4-player multiplayer using System Link or Xbox Live, and I think the reason the remaster did so well was that it was free. I think that's the only reason it got
That's
that
always
million.
helps.
Yeah, it got that 1 million players. But yeah, it looks like it. One thing that's interesting too is it was made in America for Japan, developed and published by Microsoft. But then, for whatever reason, they canceled the U.S. release initially until another company came in and bought the publishing rights to publish Microsoft's game in the U.S., which makes no sense to me at all.
Yeah, I was sitting there looking it up. It's like, okay, it's a real-time strategy game released for the original Xbox. Well, this has all of my interests written all over it.
Oh, yeah. David, I know you have. How many Xboxes do you have? Is it 7, 8?
My Xbox collection rivals your Sega Saturn collection.
Jesse, you ever get a chance to play this game?
Actually, no.
No. And John, I'm going to assume that you have not played this game either.
What game?
Phantom Dust.
Yeah, no, I've literally never heard of this. I'm looking at images of it now, and I can't get past the main character's absurd pompadour. It's just like
Look, the box art of this, he has a ridiculous pompadour.
fucked up, like, I don't know, Dante from Devil May Cry fucked Bruno Mars and made a real-time strategy game out of it, and I'm not into it. It's
See, for a second, I thought it's like, oh yeah, this was a fucking awesome game. Like, it was on the DS. You played a ghost trying to solve your own murder. Like, wait, no, that's Phantom Trick, not Phantom Dust. I know nothing about this game.
right. Could it be somehow a new updated version of I got nothing. I was gonna say it's like, maybe somebody has a double-bladed lightsaber and it's the Phantom Menace, but no, that's not a good one either. This game, I don't know, man. I don't know what they were thinking with this one.
Actually, you know what?
You can't sell Xboxes to Japan. You just can't.
It's like, what probably would have done better than Phantom Dust was if you had just made an HD remake of Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racer on the Xbox. Like, that probably would have sold more than 50,000 units in America.
It would have moved some things.
Yeah.
Probably pretty expensive to license.
Yeah, but you would have made your money back, maybe?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Phantom Dust, looks like all the logos and things were probably done on like Fiverr. So...
holy shit, so I'm reading about this game, and like they were trying to really push this in Japan, so they brought in the director of Panzer Dragoon to help design and produce it, and like,
oh, cool.
It's like that just kind of stamps your game as cult. Like, there's no way you're gonna hit mainstream appeal by that. It's like getting the director of Earthbound to do a game. Like, no, you are severely limiting yourself once you do that. I
think that's part of like a meeting with that man. Like, you bring him in, it's like, yeah, I'll make a game. We're not going to break 100,000 units on this. You know that, right? I guess, maybe it'll have long staying power. No, it will be a product greatly of its time. It's going to have 2004 written all over it. So
that's one of those things. Like,
bring in my jacket designer, please.
I have seen that before, where there are certain games that come out and people are like, "Oh, you got to play this. It's great. Like, we really got to push this game to like hit mainstream and break sales records." Like, some games are just designed to be cult hits. Like, some games are not meant to be giant successes. They're niche games, and that's okay. It's okay for that.
I am
looking for the publishers.
I'm looking at some gameplay footage. I'm looking at this cover art, and I think John's onto something. I think that this guy, the guy who made this game, was like, it was kind of raining out, and he went to go put on a duster, and he stopped and he just looked at it and said, "Hey, wait a minute."
Yeah. Now, what if somebody was wearing this duster, but they were really fucking ugly? I have an idea for a game.
I'm going to put on my duster before I go into this rainstorm. But what if there was a strategy RPG following me around?
Oh no,
there's a game here.
My cards are getting wet.
Wait a minute. I need to call that American company. We can make something together.
I do like that the cool quote on the box is, unlike anything else on Xbox. That's like not necessarily a good review.
Yeah. It's not like Halo at all. Okay. Not sold.
I was going to say, unlike anything else on Xbox, there are so many genres that could apply to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What a... Oof. I can't keep looking at this guy. This main character is fucking poorly designed. His face is unsettling to me.
He does have, like, just looking at the box art, he does have a very pointy nose. Like, that is a sharp profile.
Yeah. It's a little too sharp.
I didn't realize that John was drinking. I was expecting him to chime in on that.
Nope. I told you I was going to stop looking at it. I was dead serious. I'm upset by this.
Well, rather than continue to upset John, I am okay with moving on to our third game.
Please do.
Game 3.
All right, guys. See, this is a fan request. This game's main characters star as recurring characters on this game series animated television series. All right, guys. Anybody here have some guesses or maybe some answers?
Sure do.
All right. Let's see. Jesse says Castlevania Lords of Shadow, incorrect. John says Castlevania entire series, which I'm going to give you half a point on that one. And then David has the correct answer with Castlevania Curse of Darkness. This is a request from YUberFan on our Discord. This is Castlevania Curse of Darkness for the PlayStation 2. So, David, are you familiar with this game?
Not especially, because this was on the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1?
2.
2? This is when Castlevania went 3D, but not on the N64 and terrible, right?
Right. This is where the 3D was actually pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, you're playing as, I believe his name is Hector, which is kind of, I don't know who Hector is in the overall realm of the Castlevania series, but it's a pretty
It's Richter's Mexican cousin,
sweet. And
Hector Belmonte.
he's a former student of Dracula, and he has what they call friendly devils, which are creatures you collect through the game, and they help you throughout the game. Each one has a different power. One guy's kind of a brute. There's a fairy. I looked up the other two, and now I'm drawing a blank. I'll have to look them up. But
I do kind of like how you said it's like you play as Hector. I'm not sure how he fits into the Castlevania lore, but he's a student of Dracula. It's like, well, that's how he fits into
That's
Castlevania lore. Like
Go on.
Dracula is a pretty prominent figure in Castlevania. I
yeah,
don't know if you know this.
But what does Dracula teach? I assume he teaches it like the evil version of Hogwarts, like the one that Victor Crumb came from. So, like, what does Dracula teach? He doesn't teach defense against the dark arts. That would be
Potions?
counterproductive.
That's really what we need. We really just need Harry Potter, but with Dracula.
Yeah, I think he just teaches
Mhm.
bats and blood. I think he does 2 classes.
Right. He majored in bats, with a minor in blood.
I'm sorry, Professor. Is this like a general like monsters like anatomy class? Like, no, we're just covering bats.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all versions of bats? No, vampire bats.
Yeah,
This
first
is
day
the 12
And
week
baseball
course.
bats.
Yeah, he enters the class as a cloud of bats, and then writes his name on the board in bats, and then it's like blah. Welcome to bats. Everybody's just kind of like, oh Jesus Christ, this is it's gonna be less interesting than I thought.
God, I should have taken band as an elective.
I thought it was
knew I
Magic
should've
band.
I thought it was
Knew I
going
should have
to
taken blood. Knew I should have signed up for that class on darkness.
Yeah, that's it. Like every single student in Hogwarts taking Dracula's Bats course is like, oh, this is going to be the worst semester ever. But there's that one kid. It's like, this is an easy A. Every answer, bats.
Right, exactly. You guys are really greatly overthinking this. This man has a very simple syllabus. It's about bats.
Instead of just-
Your final exam will be one question. Mr. Dracula, yes, you in the back. Is the answer bats? Yes.
It's like the idea of like Dracula giving out a Scantron sheets with the answer being A, B, C, D, bats.
I
And
like
somebody
the-
just marking bats for every answer
The answer is always B. B for bats.
for bats.
Oh god, you get to the final exam and there's like an essay question. He gives you 30 minutes to write a whole essay, but all you have to write is bats and hand it in.
It's just bats over and over.
Oh man, God!
For
So is
extra
that
credit-
what the Castlevania TV series is about? Is it about Dracula teaching at a school? Because I would watch that.
From what I understand, the Dracula TV series is
Or-
about a bunch of guys fucking a goat.
Whoa!
I thought
And
it was
then
about Castlevania 3.
I turned
Yeah.
it off because I didn't like it anymore.
I have watched the Castlevania series, which is how I got this game because of that trivia. And I remember thinking like, because I was convincing my wife does not like horror stuff at all. It's like, no, we should watch this. It'll be fine. And then like, here comes the vampire biting somebody's neck. It's like, no, it's okay. It's okay. And I was like, yeah, it's Castlevania, but they're pulling from like the whole series. And I remember thinking it being very strange that the main hero was Trevor and not Simon Belmont and not Alucard. And then like at the spoiler alert, at the end of the first season, like Trevor meets up with Alucard and meets up with God, what's her name? Is it Sylvia? Like the mage? And then it's like, oh yes, we must here to defeat Dracula. It's like, wait a minute, this is Castlevania 3. Huh. That's an interesting game to choose to pick like for an anime series. Like I would have imagined they would have gone with Super Castlevania 4 or Symphony of the Night, but no, they went with Castlevania 3 for some reason.
Yeah, well, this game takes place approximately 3 years after the events of Castlevania 3.
Which is
That's not a
probably
very
why it
significant
ties
time
into
jump.
season 2.
Yes.
It's barely even time to resurrect Dracula. Like 3 years, he's probably still cooking. I don't know how long it takes to cook Dracula and bring it back to life, but
Is
Well, it's
that-
one of those things. Like it seems like resurrecting Dracula is an odd thing.
Is it?
I never thought
Go
that
on.
I never thought that was a sentence that I would say.
Step
'Cause, like,
one.
Let me
In the
break it down
castle-
step by step. The key is you got to remember the baking soda.
And bats.
Yeah.
Bats.
Also, bats.
Well, because in the
Gotta get
Castlevania
fresh
series,
bats.
in the Castlevania series, like it's been 300 years since Dracula has been resurrected, but sometimes it's like, oh yeah, we killed him last summer. Let's bring him back. Like there doesn't
We're
seem
bored.
to be a set time frame.
Ugh, God, I would love a I Know What You Did Last Summer. You killed Dracula. The Castlevania series. Like Dracula comes back like, God damn it, kids. Seriously, I'm a private citizen now. Please stay out of my castle.
I would love the idea of resurrecting Dracula becoming just a term for like an indeterminate amount of time, like once in a blue moon, once in a resurrection of Dracula. Like it could be anything from 3 months to 400 years.
Really rolls off the tongue too.
Right, yeah. Gonna really work that one into the vernacular. Anyway, bats.
I'm sorry. I'm just imagining the kid really overthinking it and answering not bats.
Yeah.
You fucking idiot.
I love the idea of like
Rats.
his answer not being like a 2,000 word essay, but literally just the words "not bats."
F.
Oh,
Yeah. Check minus C Dracula. Dracula eats them.
See Dracula after class.
Exactly.
Oh God, Principal Dracula.
Dracula, but he's the dean from Community.
I love the idea
Dean
of
Machine.
Principal Dracula and Vice Principal Death.
Mm-hmm.
when does this show get made?
Yeah, count me in, because I would take that over what the actual Dracula, not Dracula. I was about to say Draculvania. I would take that over the Castlevania animated series we got. I mean, it was coolly animated and all that, but seriously, I get that like whoever's making it has some sort of disdain for humanity, but like the extended conversation of two guys fucking a goat, like I could really have dealt without that. It really soured my wife on it immediately.
Stuff like that happened back then.
I need to
Just hanging
rewatch.
out in the pub talking about the goat fucking strategy. Like
I need to
Nope.
rewatch the first season because I don't remember the goat fucking.
Yeah, I don't
I
either.
I distinctly remember
Really?
Trevor Belmont getting into a bar fight and saying, quote, "Please stop hitting my testicles." But I don't remember the goat fucking conversation.
I get the feeling he was fighting the goat fuckers. I don't really remember because I was just kind of repulsed. And I'm a guy with a pretty, I don't know. I can deal with some fucked up humor, but when it's not even being really played for humor, it's more like, wow, this is whoever's making this Castlevania series thinks they're like some kind of fucking Tarantino. Like, yeah, we can just write dialogue about whatever, and it'll be like the opening scene to Pulp Fiction. They're sitting in a cafe planning a robbery. No, these two will be planning a goat fucking, and no, it's not cool.
See,
Yeah, listen
with
here,
that,
all you fuck motherfuckers. No, goat fuckers.
Right?
with that
Maybe one
comment,
of
now you're just
fucking
making
pricks move.
with that comment, now you're just making me want a Dracula or a Castlevania like movie directed by Quentin Tarantino with Samuel L. Jackson as Dracula.
Dude, Samuel Jackson would be pretty fantastic.
Blah,
Um,
motherfuckers.
They'd really
Yeah.
have a hard time selling that badass goat fucker wallet, though.
Right? Yeah.
Bats, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Bats.
The one that says goat fucker on it.
What
Ew.
is a man,
You get it.
motherfucker?
Yeah. No, Samuel Jackson could play anything he wants. That would be I'd watch that. I'd watch Samuel Jackson play any character in the series or every character. Just an entire Sam Jack Vania
Oh,
Yeah,
Sam
just
Jack
him playing all the characters.
Sam
Samuel
Jackson
L.
teaching the bats class.
Samuel L. Jackson playing the vampire killer. Crack, motherfucker.
Yeah. Just it's Dracula, but when he turns into a cloud of bats, the cloud of bats is voiced by Samuel L. Jackson.
I've had it with these motherfucking bats in this motherfucking class.
Yeah.
I was imagining like turning
Would
into
watch.
a cloud of bats, but every bat has a CGI Samuel L. Jackson face.
Also good.
Oh man. All right. So as soon as the show ends tonight, I think we have some letters we need to write to Hollywood.
I think we have some new T-shirt art that we need to commission.
Oh my
Gonna
god.
be a lot of Samuel L. Jackson and whipping. So
But yeah, Castlevania Curse of Darkness.
oh yeah, that
Fun 3D Castlevania game, right?
Bats.
it's got bats.
Yeah.
Game
PS2
4.
Castlevania game. Yeah.
All right, guys, this is our fan request. This developer they're pretty well known for like historical simulation kind of games, and this is one of the few simulation strategy games that is actually based in a fantasy setting. All right, you guys ready with some answers?
Yes.
All right, so David said Vanilla Knights, which is incorrect, and
Valhalla Knights.
Valhalla Knights, and Jesse and John both say bats, which I so wish was correct. This
give them both a point.
okay. I'm not actually going to give you a point. So this is
What?
Gemfire for the Super Nintendo.
Oh,
Request,
clearly.
Okay.
requested by Rainus in our Discord.
Ray Anus.
Oh, is that how you say it?
No.
Oh, Re-Anus.
But that's the joke that I went with the last time he requested something. Because it's just where we're at. But no, I'm sure it's actually, Rainus or Rayanus. But I'm going to always really pull those apart. Because, anus.
Yeah.
Good request, Rainus.
Yeah, so I tried watching this game and trying to figure out how it works, and I even tried playing it a little bit because I got so intrigued because it does sound neat. It's like a fantasy strategy game. I can't figure out how the fuck this game works, so I'm gonna put up a screenshot here on our stream, and I just dropped it in the Discord for you guys to go and look at it. There are so many numbers on this screen. Like, there's way too many numbers on this screen, and I cannot.
That is a lot of numbers.
I cannot figure out what they meant.
So, like,
Like, what is going on this?
Is it like Stratego?
Yeah, well, I've never played Stratego, so maybe. It's kind of like.
Well, no, I mean, actually, these are just a bunch of territories with numbers attached to them. How do you?
This is like if Dragon Quest and Risk had a child.
Yeah, so it is Risk-like. So basically, you choose one of 4 families to play as, and I think within those 4 families, there's 4 characters you can choose. So there's something like 16 different scenarios that you can play this game with. And your goal is to take over this continent. And each turn you get an action, like you can engage in some diplomacy, like feeding your people. You can engage in war. You can engage in like delegating things to other regions. It's really in depth, like really in depth. And I tried so hard to figure this out because it really did look pretty interesting. But apparently, this developer Koei is known for making these kinds of games.
Oh yeah,
I think they have a game called Genghis Khan that's very similar.
Romancing in the 5 Kingdoms or whatever.
Yeah, that series has been going on since like 1985. I think it's still going on today.
Just say because like Koei Tecmo, once they merged, they started doing Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors, which gameplay wise are not very historical, but setting wise are.
Yeah, could you imagine buying a game called Genghis Khan and it's this? It's not a game where you're just going around like pillaging all day.
I was going to say, tread lightly, John. Genghis Khan did a lot of things you don't want to talk about on this show. Yeah,
Compose video game music.
indeed.
You'll see what I see. Go where I go. Eat who I eat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, this all the screenshots look about the same, except you have like different advisors and numbers, but like the map remains the same. It seems like this wouldn't work well on like the SNES because how do you like input a number or whatever? Like I assume you're looking at the map and it's like, all right, yeah, I'm in territory blah and I want to attack territory blah. Like this would be a better PC game than an SNES game. Because PC has a keypad.
Well, does the SNES have? Did this use the mouse at all?
I don't think so. No, I believe you just play with a controller, and yeah, I think you just have to move sliders for choosing like numbers and things like that. I do say I don't think the range of numbers you deal with gets more than like 50 or so, so like it's not too bad. Like you'll notice in these screenshots, like a lot of these numbers are under like 30. So, yeah, it's probably not that awful. It's probably no different than, say, when you play Mario Party 2 and you do a duel and you have to bet a number of coins, right? I assume there's shortcuts for going up by 10 and down by 10 and things like that. There has to be, because that'd be insane to have to hit the up and down so much.
Right. Yeah, no, this doesn't look fun.
This is one of those video games that look like work.
Yes, like I know it's nothing like this, but it makes me think of a game that I owned and resented ownership of, Populous.
I was just about to say, it kind of reminds me of Populous.
Fuck some Populous. That game was work, and Man, not the fun kind of SNES work. Not like the Secret of Mana grind. Like just the nope. I don't know what's happening. This isn't good. Press the Armageddon button. We're done here. So if Gemfire has an Armageddon button, which I would assume it would, because it's just a continent at war with each other. So I assume you can just like sit back and let the whole thing fall into chaos. Maybe you let that happen.
Yeah, so just stop feeding your people and just start attacking things, and yeah, you can get real kind of Game of the final season of Game of Thrones with it if you want.
The best season. Great idea, John. Let's just rush to a conclusion, whether or not it makes sense at all.
Sounds like GTT.
Yes. GTT is better than the final season of Game of Thrones. I'm just going to go ahead and put that hot take out there.
That's not a hot take. I'm not hitting the button for that one.
I'm not asking for you to hit the button. I'm just saying I'm doing it.
There's a difference between a hot take and an objective fact.
Right.
Do we have an objective fact sound effect?
I think I do.
Welcome to Game That Tune.
I was thinking it was going to be the My Man sound, but the introduction to the show, I guess, works.
It's a weird flex, John.
All of John's flexes are weird flexes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Old Johnny Weird Flex.
That's my name.
I demand that you change your name on Twitter to that.
Ooh, Johnny Weird Flex, yeah.
Not just because you don't go to the gym. Yeah, no, this I don't know. Strategy games aren't really my bag. A strategy game where you're just kind of looking at numbers on the map seems like even less my bag. I like fantasy settings and things, but I like a little bit more than just like, some icons and shit. I like to move my guys around and have a little action. This doesn't look particularly action packed. So that's kind of disappointing.
If I didn't have a job, I probably would enjoy this game a little bit. But I have to deal with like Excel sheets, and looking at this screenshot reminds me of Excel. Like I see all these numbers.
It really does kind of look like somebody making a strategy game with just numbers and then saying like, oh, we need to gussy this up. Add a knight. That will trick people into thinking it's an actual game.
God, but I mean, even like the action screens are so confusingly laid out. Like, you got your guys on a little map. They got their guys. On each side, it shows like your relative strength, but also the everybody's assigned a number. I mean, it's just
it's literally a numbers game.
Yeah, it's just numbers, and the characters are just fucking icons. It's just
I'm pulling up the actual like battle screens, and it's an actual like medieval sprite battle surrounded by numbers. Like there is a literal border of numbers around the battle.
Yeah, it's exactly, and it's not clear what any of them really mean. I mean, obviously, the numbers near the men probably indicate the hit points or something of the men, but no, it's actually not clear.
It's actually how many bats they have back at home.
Right, exactly. If they turn into a cloud of bats, how many bats will they become? Oy. What a mess.
It's...
Yeah, and some of this, I mean, this game was ported to Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. And some of the graphics, like, on some of these battle screens, look like they just took the Nintendo graphics and just pasted them in there, like, with no change whatsoever.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I just realized I'm looking at a Super NES game. It doesn't look particularly Super NES-y, so, I don't know, man. This is, not really ticking any of my boxes. Got a lot of boxes though, but it's not ticking mine.
It looks like,
I'm disgusted.
And I mean this in the best possible way, and like, I mean this in the pre 3DS way. Like, it looks like if you could take Fire Emblem and make it more boring.
Yeah, now that's an accomplishment.
All right.
Well, what even is Gemfire? Do you shoot flaming crystals at things?
Let me look up, because the original.
No, that's far too exciting for this game.
Exactly.
Yeah, Oh, sorry, I'm pulling this up because the Japanese name is Super Royal Blood, which
Oh, that's even. Ooh.
sounds pretty
Sounds
sweet.
cool.
Now, while you're looking that up, I do like on certain battle screens, like I guess when it's like head to head, there's it'll just be a group of people versus another person. So this one I'm looking at, it says Knights versus Zendor. It's like, all right, yeah, Zendor, you're about to get fucked up by a group of knights. Like,
Okay, I'm in for a group of knights, but what is Sendor?
yeah, and then it's like mages versus Pluvius. And it's like, okay,
Okay, I recognize half of these words.
right, whom? Yeah, is Pluvius also a mage? Is he a dark mage? I don't know. Just yeah, Pluvius, huh?
I love the idea of a battalion of knights coming out and making formation and then just lifting up their helmets. I'm sorry, we're facing whom?
Yeah, it is I, Pluvius, and they all do the fucking Korath from Guardians of the Galaxy. Who? Pluvius, man. Dark elf? Ah, forget it.
Legendary Duck? Oh, fine.
Pluvius. Johnny, did you ever figure out what Gemfire is?
I like what Del said in the chat. It's a miserable pile of numbers. That's better than anything I could have ever come up with.
Oh, okay. Good.
So, yeah. On that note, I think it's time to move on to the next game.
Please do.
Game
Fire those
5.
gems.
Alright, guys. So let's see. This game features elements of Super Mario Bros., The Legend of Zelda, Metroid, Balloon Fight, Donkey Kong, and Yoshi's Cookie. Alright, guys. Who's got some answers?
I certainly do.
Alright. So, Jesse says NES minigame thing, which is incorrect. John Harrington says Pluvius, which is incorrect. And David has the correct answer of Tetris DS. Yes, this is Tetris DS for the Nintendo DS.
I like that.
Yes.
I like that none of those songs really gave like any further hint than your trivia. Like this game contains, references to all these Nintendo games, and then your third song is just the fucking Metroid music. It's like, okay, go on.
It was very hard not to find anything that gave it away.
It could just as easily been NES remix, but which I think is what Jesse was thinking of with NES minigame collection.
Yes.
That's what I was.
NES remix, not this.
So say, I think, and I'll have to go back and play it and double check. I believe the NES remix is literally just the NES songs like over again. But
there's some remixes.
Okay, I will defer to you. I know the games get remixed, but the music in Tetris DS is remixed for each mode because there are multiple modes in Tetris DS, and each mode is based on a different game. Like, there's the classic Tetris mode that scrolls through different games. I think maybe the first 10 levels are just generic Tetris, and then it goes into Super Mario Brothers, then Mario 3, then Zelda, then Balloon Fight, and Ice Climber's one of them, and so on and so forth. Yoshi's Cookie is one, which I remember being a deep cut. And I remember the last one being Tetris. It plays the Tetris music, and the background changes to be the giant Russian castle and whatnot. And then there are other modes. There's a challenge mode where you're given a set of blocks and you have to clear through them, which I think is Zelda based. And I remember there's a catch mode where you're giving kind of a block that you have to rotate around and pieces fall and you build up that block. And that's the one that's the Metroid based, because I definitely remember that Metroid song.
I feel like I played this at some point. Wasn't there a head-to-head online mode where it was kind of a push, like a tug of war almost? Like you're pushing the blocks towards the other guy, or?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
There was a multiplayer mode where I forget what it was called. I'm trying to see if I can look it up. Push mode. Yeah. That one, I'm looking it up now. That was a Donkey Kong. That was the background. Where, every single line that you cleared would push everything towards the other person. So it was like a tug of war via Tetris.
That's pretty cool. I remember having some fun with that. All those years ago. I think this was one of the first things I played with the DS online service. And then it was like, wait a minute. Mario Kart DS is more fun. I'm going to play that.
I did look up. Apparently this had, you could have up to 10 player local multiplayer with only one game cartridge, which do they still do that? Is that still a thing where only one person needs to have the game cartridge?
Not usually. They usually try to get everybody to buy things nowadays, which is kind of disappointing because there's times when I would actually be able to get together with people recently and have maybe a Mario Party night, and it's I want to do the little tabletop Mario Party games for Switch, and it's oh, you both need a copy of the game. Fuck.
Yeah.
That DS download play was amazing. Because I think actually Mario Kart DS, you could have 4 players with only one cart.
And that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
But if I remember, the other 3 players could only play as Shy Guys, which is fine.
Yeah, because it's still Mario Kart DS, one of the most fun Mario Karts there is. And you don't have to buy it.
Yeah.
There's perks.
I remember this game also having a really limited run. It was hard to find a copy of this game, but if you did, it's probably still the best Tetris game made.
Whoa.
Mr.
Hot Take.
Yeah.
Game over! Hot Take.
I'm just fucking up tonight.
Whoa, what just
It is a
happened?
hot take so hot that it ends the fucking show.
Yeah, hot take so hot that David is canceled because of it.
I got so
Uh,
excited, I just kind of threw my hand at the keyboard, and G and H are next to each other and hit both
Yeah.
keys. I was
The
too-
hands you are using to operate your soundboard are too fat.
I need to order a special dialing wand.
Yeah, you need a special soundboard wand. Damn it, John. But no, David. I think the new Tetris would like a word with you, or possibly Tetris, the original.
Don't forget about Hatris.
Yep.
John, shut the fuck up.
Wordtris would like a word with you.
I mean, like, yeah, Tetris 99 lets you face like 98 other people, but it's only in Tetris, at least as I recall. Despite being a Nintendo Online owner, I've not still actually played Tetris 99.
Oh, who brought up Tetris 99?
I thought that's what you were talking about, the most recent Tetris.
No. The game, the new Tetris for Nintendo 64.
Oh,
The best Tetris.
see, I thought you were referring to like the most recent Tetris, which I believe is Tetris 99.
This is the problem with the new thing being in the title.
Mhm.
It's like those new Super Mario Brothers games, not so new anymore. But
Which-
yeah, the new Tetris ain't been new in quite a long time, baby. And I'm pretty much joking. It's not the best Tetris. It's not the worst though. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I want to go on a quick tangent to say I love the fact that there is a game called New Super Mario Brothers 2, which is the third game in that series. There are so many things wrong with that title. But I remember
like Naked
yeah,
Lunch.
exactly. No, just the different modes in Tetris DS were so good, and I remember they released another Tetris game on the DS after this. I forget what it was called. That basically had like all the same modes, but without the fun Nintendo NES extras, and it still didn't seem as popular. Like, yeah, no, I will definitively say Tetris DS is the best Tetris game. Like, you can't beat Tetris, but all of the different add-ons and modes that Tetris DS put into it just make it so much better. The push mode, the capture mode, there was a mission mode, which was insane.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to make Tetrises.
Well, no,
I
the
think it's
Mitris,
try.
Clear the lines.
the mission mode, or no, I'm thinking of puzzle mode, where it would give you like a set of lines with gaps and a predetermined list of pieces, so
Right,
you had to figure out like how to clear everything piece by piece.
Right. Classic. Also, possibly very frustrating if you're not very good at Tetris or seeing the next piece up. Yep. No, it's good. But if it's that good, David, why is it still only on DS?
I think it was just so good that if it got too widespread, it would just dominate the world and nobody would play any other games. Like Tetris, when it was released on the Game Boy, was a phenomenon, and they didn't want to just completely conquer the world. So they're like, well, we better scale this back. At least
Actually,
that's my theory.
yeah.
That's what I
Right.
heard from my uncle who works at Nintendo.
Yeah, your Russian uncle who works at Tetris. Yeah.
My uncle Aaron Flemingskov.
Yes. Vodka Fleminsky.
Oh God, that's so much better.
Yeah, no, they should re-release this or eShop it or something, because yeah, I mean it's good, and I don't think it'd be that hard to update it for modern things.
It's gotta flip
frankly,
a switch or something, right?
yeah, exactly. You press that switch, you get your Tetris switch.
Just rename it to dot switch, and there you go.
But yeah, it really should have come out for the 3DS by now, because I mean that's just too logical. But yeah, they probably won't now that they've kind of spoiled the market on Tetris. It's like, here's a fantastic online Tetris game that you can play with 98 other people, and it costs the cost of a Nintendo Switch online like service subscription. Like, cool. So no one's gonna buy a port of like Tetris DS, are they? Like, you fucked yourself on this one, Nintendo. But yeah, it's all right. You're fucking yourself with wads and wads of cash. So hurts a little bit, but in the end, feels pretty good.
But does it? Does it though?
Yeah, exactly. Ask Mr. Koizumi. Guy looks like he shoves dollar bills up his ass.
T-shirt.
He's a coin star.
I don't know that we can put Tazaki Koshima shoving dollar bills up his ass on a T-shirt.
I don't know.
Well, we can try.
Yeah, it'll just be them eating coins and shitting bills. Classic coin star machine, man. Anyway, I'm getting wildly, disgustingly off track. Man, what a Nintendo Direct it was. Not a single reference to money entering the human body.
Or was there?
Yeah, actually, I didn't get to watch the whole thing. Maybe that was part of Pokemon Camp.
I mean,
Yeah, it
technically,
was. You train your Pokemon and then just throw dollar bills at them, and then the camera pans away before you see what they do with those dollar bills, which is
Right.
weird because it's the Galar region, so they should be euros.
Yeah, you put the coins
Or
in the cormorant's mouth, and then you anger up the cormorant, and it blasts them into you. It's
I was gonna say,
Rough.
or maybe they're not euros. Maybe they're still going through Galexit. I'm not sure.
right, exactly. Yeah, there won't be euros for long. They have to edit that whole game. I'm not hosting tonight, John. Somebody else needs to finish this off.
All
I'm
right.
just gonna keep
I
talking
think
money
we should
based sex
probably move
activities.
to. I think we should probably move to the calculating computer.
Calculating computer activated. Computers. Beeps. Boops.
Damn it, John.
Scoring complete. This game's winner is... Jesse Moore.
Yes, Jesse, you're tonight's winner
hooray!
because you got points, and David didn't upload any bonus tunes, so it's
Boom.
going to you.
Default. Default.
So,
Great job, man.
yeah, I think we had a pretty interesting game tonight. I'd like to thank our requesters, XX Chrono XX, Silver Nova, Yuberfan, Rianus, and the Messenger on our Discord. They left all those requests in our Discord game request channel. Let's see here. I'm trying to remember how John usually likes to close out the shows.
Yeah, John. Good luck.
Oh, God. Oh, man. So anyways, now that John's staring at me, it's making it just way harder to do. So,
I like the fact that it's harder to do, not because John's staring at you, but because John's staring at you with a knife. Like, the knife doesn't play into it. It's just the stare that
I
does it.
didn't want to say anything. It couldn't make it worse.
Switchblade.
I'm doing my best to just ignore the knife. So,
John, you forgot a key element to the show. Ask Jesse what the theme is for next week's
Jesse,
episode.
what is you're the winner. What is the theme for next week's episode?
How about games that we've played recently?
All right, game. So,
Like, played on the show or just played in person?
That you've played.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
we
So-
can do that. So
Fair enough.
Games that we've recently played.
What you been playing? The theme.
Yeah. So
I like it.
I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. We're live every week at about 9 Eastern on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. You should check out our website, GameThatTune.com, where we put out the podcast version every week. John does a great job editing the show together and making it sound a little bit better, a little bit nicer than our live version.
And thank you this week, John, for taking over on the editing while I was off on my sabbatical.
Oh, no
So,
problem.
You did a great job, John.
Oh, thank you. You should also check out patreon.com/GameThatTune and give us money if you're feeling up for it, and you get access to fun exclusive like John's CTT Gems and other features that we've been putting up there. And we're going to be
The ability to call in and leave a voicemail.
Yes, you get access to our secret phone number. You get exclusive Patreon Game That Tune stickers. And yeah, We also have a merch store you should check out, merch.gamethatune.com. We're selling some fun shirts, hats, pins, things like that. If you want to leave us a request, one of the best places to do it is in our Discord. If you go to gamethatune.com, there's a link to our Discord. Go check it out. I'd like to give a special thanks to our super fan tier producers. We've got Alex Messenger, Lance Revere,
Damian Beckles and Bradford Stevens.
and Daniel Perky. Thank you, David.
And
Shit, who did I miss?
Chrono.
Oh, he's a patron? Sweet.
He has now completed a payment, so he is on the list.
All right, and Chrono.
Not falling for that old pledge $15, get your shout out, and then cancel your payment shit ever again.
Yeah.
What a fool I was.
You wait till that payment goes through.
Yeah, so welcome to the list, Chrono. Thanks for everything you do, man.
Yeah. And I think that about wraps up how we like to, all the, end of the show things. Unless there's, John, is there anything that I'm missing?
I mean, no, I usually try and flow it to thank the patrons, thank the requesters. So then we say, hit us up with your requests in the Discord, or email us gamethattune@gmail.com, or hit us up on Twitter at gamethattune.
You can also follow us individually on Twitter. I'm at JPReganJR. John is...
You can follow me on Twitter at JGangsta187.
You can follow David Fleming on Twitter at
EFD Fleming.
And you can follow this week's winner, Jesse Moore, on Twitter at
Sega_legend.
All right, Jesse, as the winner this week, you get your choice in bonus tunes. What are we going out with tonight?
So I was going back and listening to some more recent Mega Ran albums, and I found a song that has Astyanax music, which I thought was really cool.
Ooh.
And so I picked that song. It's called The Rock.
Nice. All right. Thank you again for tuning in, everybody. We're going out with The Rock, and I don't want to say peace out, everybody, because I feel like that's John's thing. So
You're allowed.
Okay. Peace out, y'all.
Dumb rappers need teaching.
Jesse, didn't you use this for bonus tunes like
the
2
jewelry
weeks
store
ago?
with their 2 bling chains on, right? And they go into the car, it's a Mustang. And when they get there, they realize that they locked the keys in the car. So they're fiddling with the lock for hours trying to pick it. So suddenly the guy that owns it says, "Yo, hurry up, it's about to rain." And I've left the top down. Yeah, know that I possess the rhyme to stretch your mind with beats by hexagon. We gon' rock to the rhythm, don't stop till it hit 'em. Word. And plus I got the streets and the cons and the geeks and the dons on the beats and the rhymes. If you seek, you can find. We gon' rock to the rhythm, don't stop till it hit 'em. Word. Yes sir. Yeah, who get them lump sums? Why these rappers bump gums? When Randall drop his front page like a bus plunge, trying to put a little something in the trust fund, and at the same time just had some fun. What would happen if Maya and Koji Kondo made a baby in the 80s and studied the rhyme flow of KRS? Then went up to college at the same time, played Final Fantasy and leveled up to 99. At the shows I get pounds and handshakes. I call them my family, you call them a fan base. Ran makes music people can relate to. I looked in the mirror when I was young and told me stay true. Whack shows from Ran are like Nokias. No matter how hard you look, you won't see it. Cal Ripken is spitting, no days off, I can't afford to be missing. And all of y'all thugs with computers look foolish, rulers. You kick-ass rappers are shoeless and just clueless, lurking in the forum just to see who responded. Constantly up in your post so folks can comment. Man, that's nonsense, stop it and watch. When you do blow up, reserve a spot on your job. In the meanwhile, gotta make them scream loud. Critics are heavy like John Coffey, walking a green mile to rock. Yeah, know that I possess the rhyme to stretch your mind with beats by hexagon. We gon' rock to the rhythm, don't stop till it hit 'em. Word. And plus I got the streets and the cons and the geeks and the dons on the beats and the rhymes. If you seek, you can find. We gon' rock to the rhythm, one more. Rock to the rhythm, don't stop till it hit 'em. Word. Yes, in the name of the most magnificent, Ran ripping it, antithesis of the whack, mad different. I come off like a toupee, touche. You DVD and I'm Blu-ray, the new way. Excuse me. I go in like a Jordan fade away. You're my direct deposit when payday's a day away. You can pretend to be ahead of me mentally.
Castalis is copyright 1990 SNK. Phantom Dust is copyright 2004 Microsoft. Castlevania Curse of Darkness is copyright 2005 Konami. Gemfire is copyright 1991 Koei. Tetris DS is copyright 2006 Nintendo.
Now,